Welcome to another edition of Whiskey, Games, and Nerd Stuff. Today's whiskey is Suntory Whisky, and today's game is Sid Jackson's Can't Stop. And what I can't stop is enjoying this Suntory Whisky. Let's take a sip. Can't Stop is a great gateway game. It's a great filler game for game nights when you're in between games, family night, and even for experienced gamers. I've had some good times playing Can't Stop, although I do play it most often on Board Game Arena, but I've been playing it so much lately, and I realized I couldn't locate the copy of the game I had, so I went ahead and tracked one down the other day, and enjoying this, playing this with friends. Again, I think it scratches all the itches. It's a good gateway game. It's a good filler game in between other games or while you're waiting for people to show up. I think it's a great family game. Out of the box, it's 2 to 4 players, but you can play this with as many people as you want. You just need extra pieces. It's a very simple game to learn. You're basically going to take 4 dice. You're going to roll those dice and make 2 pairs with them. Those 2 pairs will add up to a number, and you're going to run your little token up that number of chains. And then the first person to close out 3 will win. I'll kind of go over just a basic how it goes. So you'll lay out the game board, which is this little gamepad, which I really like. You've got your tokens and you've got your dice. So the first thing you'll do is you'll roll your 4 dice, and they're going to pick 2 sets of numbers. In this case, we'll say it's the 8 and the 4. So what you're going to do is you'll put in this spot right here, 8 and 4. You'll choose to roll again. Now you've got to add these up to get to 2 different numbers. So I'm going to go ahead and do 4, which I'll move that one up 4, and we'll do 7. So now that I have 3 of these out, you can only run 3 numbers at a time. So I have 2 options. Option 1 is I can continue rolling, but I can only advance on a 4, 7, or 8. Option 2 is I'll pass. For the sake of the game, I'll go ahead and pass. So what would happen is I'll replace the white tiles with my game pieces. These would go up at the top. Now, next time, I can never go lower than this number. So it would be player 2's turn. Player 2 would go, and they're going to do, let's say, 4 and an 8. They're going to decide to roll again. Now they're going to do, let's say they decide to do a 12. And they can't do the 6 because you can only have 3 running at once. So now they're going to roll again. Now they have to have a 4, 8, or a 12. So they'll roll. And let's see. We don't have a 12. We don't have a 4 because none of these add up to be 4. We do have an 8. So this would move up 1 spot. We'll roll again. So we have a 12 and a 7. So we can move up this 12. We'll roll one more time and see what happens. All right, so we've got a 10, which is not going to help us. We got a 7, which is not going to help us. We have an 11, it's not going to help us because you had to get a 4, an 8, or 12. Now, because this player could not advance on their column, they actually lose everything that they advance in that turn. And then it would be the next player's turn. Well, they'll roll the dice. And let's say they decide they want to do 10 and 9. Then they'll go ahead and roll again. And let's see. They can go, let's go a 2. And we'll roll one more time, but you have to get a 2, 9, or 10. Oops. I think that was a 6. So that would have been a 9. We'll roll one more time. So we have 11's not going to help us. We don't have a 10 here. We do have a 9, so let advance. So then let's go ahead and pretend like we've done this for a series of rounds. So what will happen is I'll just kind of place these out. We'll pretend like this had been progressing a little bit. We'll just go ahead and do this. Now, what will happen is once you get up to here, if a player gets to here and finishes their turn, so they're going to lock out 6, that means all the game paces on that 6 will go away, and now 6 is locked up. And then when you're rolling to the other ones, now you have one less number you can advance on. And the first player who can lock 3 numbers, regardless of the numbers, wins. Again, it's a very enjoyable game. It's very easy to play. I have a lot of fun with it. I usually play it on Board Games Arena, so if you're ever on Board Games Arena, just if you see Whiskey Games and Nerd Stuff, feel free to shout out and send a game invite. Would love to hear your thoughts and comments on this game. Again, it's Can't Stop. Fantastic, fun game to play. Until next time, folks, cheers.